Are you ready? We about to start this? I hope I'm not cracking, but this is volume number 2. Get it cracking. Here we go. We're starting this thing. All right, cool. So, Anton, you said you got some shit to talk about.
Yeah, man. All right, so I was subscribing to Audible, right? And Audible, month free trial and stuff. They be always sending me those emails like, "Come back, we want to be your friend again." Books. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do it, right? So I subscribe, and I'm looking at the top 25 like books on Amazon. You know, just so happened. I'm not looking at the top 25 audiobooks. I haven't even checked that. But anyway, how many of the top 25 world's bestsellers on Amazon right now, or let's say U.S. bestsellers? Yeah, U.S. bestsellers.
What you mean, all of them?
Out of the top 25 U.S. bestsellers, how many of them involve something political about Donald Trump?
Oh, that's a good one. 6.
22.
So that's a good answer. Hannah, you were close. It's 9.
Oh.
22 is his niece wrote about him. I think it's like Mary Trump or something.
Oh yeah, she tore him up.
I mean, who has been more popular in this like last decade than Donald Trump? Like,
I know.
Beyond, like, let's look beyond presidency and anything else. Like, it's hard to separate the two people, but it's like this is the most talked about human being on the planet.
I know. He's a winner, man. He's winning, and he's gonna win again. He gonna win again. He gonna get 4 more years.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Wherever that happens, that's another story. But it's just amazing that how do you sleep at night? You must stare at the ceiling like you got like a ex supermodel wife or whatever. If she was, I don't know if she was a call girl model, but you know she's a beautiful woman. Sitting
Donald. She don't speak English though.
Probably not the same bed. His 14-year-old son is like 6'4".
Really?
His son, Barron Trump, is like the tallest in their family, and he's 14.
What? That's
Oh wow, he's gonna be something.
I think we're gonna have like 20 more years of Trumps. We're gonna have. He can get this. Listen, his daughter for sure will be a president.
Hold on. So
you watch the thing.
Which president?
It's gonna be 8 years of Trump, 8 years of Ivanka, 8 years of.
No.
Remember that T-shirt?
I do, yeah.
No way. No
and then
way.
the kid, the little guy and the other guy. Yeah.
Listen, it's over. Who are the Republicans going to nominate? He runs the show.
That's crazy.
How'd the song go?
Yeah, I don't know.
How'd the Trump song go by what's his name?
Which song?
Mac Miller. How'd it?
I'm take over the world. I'm on this Donald Trump.
How's it start though?
It just starts off like that. Yo, the flies motherfucker in the room. Yeah, you know it's me.
Oh yeah, right.
Out here locally, hopefully. I'll be at the top soon, but now I'm at my house on the couch watching cartoons. You know how much you love it when you get Woo! Don't talk about
it. Was decent.
Look at all his money. Ain't that some shit?
Now he's the president.
Crazy, man. It's bad. Anyway, that's number 1. 9 out of the top. You know the number 1 book right now is with with him in the interviews where he's interviewed and he's on audio. He's on audio. Right?
That hit number 1? I didn't even know that dropped.
Number 1, exactly. It's on pre-order.
It's on pre-order? Oh my gosh.
It's on pre-order. It's a pre-order, bro. The number 1.
The real question is who be reading it? The people that like him or the people that just be laughing and laughing at him?
Everybody. If I'm close,
that covers all the groups.
Listen, if I'm close to him, I want to know more about him. If I dislike him, I need to know more about him. If I love him, I want to tell everybody about him. That's how you need
something to laugh about. You get the book. I'm with you. All right.
Yeah. All right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just insane. Yeah.
Donald Trump. I'm telling you, man. This dude, he could do it. He do whatever he wants. Man, just wait. Just wait. Just wait. I told my sister, I said, Renata, I text my whole family. I might text you too, Hannah. I was like, hey, if you think 2020 is crazy, just wait till November. Just wait till November.
So think about it. Remember we were worried about Y2K?
Oh, yeah, heck yeah.
We were off 20 years. That's all that happened. We were just wrong 20 years. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's crazy, man. Dude, honestly, how difficult is apartment hunting?
Are you looking?
It's easy when you just like, give me a house. I just need a place where the matches go right here. Okay. Like
kinda.
When you have requirements, oh my God.
What are your requirements? ADA? What do you need? What's wrong?
Several requirements. Number one, it has to be between 600 and 750 square feet. All right. Because when I live in Hong Kong, I've had a place that was as small as 150 square feet. All right. I'll link photos to that so people can see.
What?
Can't be too big. Can't be too big. All right. It feels like I don't know what's the opposite of claustrophobic. Like, yeah. And then I have to have like a state-of-the-art gym. Like it has to be a really good gym because several times I work from home too. And so I have clients I train and such, and some of them are more bougie than me.
You can't bring them in there.
Yeah. Where? What?
You can bring these people. They insured? They're insured for guests?
I put the mask on and we rock and roll. All right. I got State Farm. They cover me on the COVID. The next thing is I have to have a pool that's at least, I would say, 15 meters. That's about 25 feet. I like to do live.
He's kind of got a high standard.
I have to have an open space in the living room. I need a nice open space. But I haven't even gotten to the place. You know, like that. I have the least requirements for inside. The last thing I would say, it has to be strict in the requirements of, like, let's say pets, right? So people who don't own pets, like Hannah, do you own a dog or a cat or anything?
Yeah, I do.
Right, so check it out. I know Mike owns a dog. You own a dog. You guys don't understand the struggle for non-pet owners because I have to deal with your shit literally because you're a pet owner. There's people who don't pick up their dog shit. I want to live somewhere where they have that enforced PoopPrints program where they get your dog DNA shit and they send you a fine when we know it was your shit later.
They have that?
95% success rate. You drop your dog's feces.
Where are you going to live is what I was.
PoopPrints, look it up. In a tube, right? In a tube. They send it to a lab. They register your dog based on that tube to a unique identifier, right? So then the apartment complex, if some shit happens, literally, they send it off. It takes a week to come back, and then they just automatically say this number is dog shit, whatever. You know, Mike's dog is 3372, whatever. And then they just send you a bill, $150. All
right, we're gonna roll this back. You ready?
So somebody's job is to go around and pick up the shit and mail it off.
Yeah, you can. You can call somebody.
That is a person's job at the apartment complex.
You can send it. No, you can. I can pick it up in a bag and take it. Or
you're gonna send it because they're bad.
I can tell the apartment complex and they come and get it. The thing is this guy is a millionaire off of this program, bro. I actually wanted to work for them, just doing sales.
I bet they are.
You go to the program, it pays for itself. So as an apartment owner, it pays, like if I own the apartment building, it pays for itself. I pay for it to start, but it like pays me back, you know? And then after, look, think about this. You live in a community where it's 50 units and they all have dogs, right? Whatever your units are, Mike, right? You live in an apartment complex, right? Where it's more than 20
there are 700 dogs here.
$700 there, right? Let one of y'all get a $150 fine for some dog shit. How clean
all right, but here's the problem. I pick up shit. I pick up my dog shit, but I don't get the whole thing. Sometimes it's a piece. I'm getting a fine.
Sometimes it sticks to the grass.
All right, check it out. You see me outside taking
what are you going to do about that, you know?
Look, you see me outside taking the shit under a tree. I just look at you, my legs propped up, and then I just fucking walk off. all right? And I go back in the house. I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail if that happens. Look, dog owners don't understand the struggle of not owning the dog.
Okay, all right. Let's put it this way. I do understand. I appreciate that program, and I would participate. I wouldn't mind that because there's shit everywhere.
Somebody to get fined. If somebody did, easy, quick. But once somebody gets fined, 95% success rate. People don't get fined again.
Right, but there's a bunch of shit everywhere.
All right.
Yes.
So
yeah, because some people ruin it for the bunch, right?
Yeah, there's shit everywhere.
What they say?
There is shit everywhere. So I'm with you.
Good cops and bad cops, they say. Well, there's some good dog owners and some shitty dog owners, all right?
Literally. There are so many dogs. There's so many dogs, and check this out. I was talking to Hannah about this. I said, because in where she lives, there are like no rabbits. And she said once, she was like, man, there's just like no rabbits out here. And because I had mentioned how there's rabbits everywhere by me. Like there's rabbits everywhere.
There's no rabbits out here. Rabbits don't live in hot places.
Listen, here's why there's no rabbits. Probably no rabbits by you for the same reason. Because where she lives, there are cats, stray cats everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Here, no cats, only dogs. So these rabbits, they just be everywhere. So listen, my dog is a killer. She's a killer. So when she pulls me all the way until she gets onto the sidewalk, and there are so many dogs and so many rabbits, she's just looking like she just can't wait to find a dog or a rabbit, and she just wants to take off and just kill something. Like she is a hunter. She's just like cannot wait. There are just so many dogs and rabbits everywhere.
Wow.
Sometimes I take her out the leash and I just let her just hunt. I'm like, go
get one. Just go kill one.
Too slow. But them cats, those are savages. They will kill anything. And these rabbits, I saw somebody put up a sign and it said, lost cat. And I said, yeah, your cat is in heaven right now because it's eating like a king. It's going to be a fat cat when it comes back.
You don't want to be bothered.
Heck no. It's going to come back in the winter and be like, all right, I killed everything I could. I'm back. I'm fat as hell.
I don't like cats.
Yeah, so apartment hunting. Simple thing. I just got to have a really good gym and a really good pool.
I don't know. You had a lot of requirements. I wish you luck. Honestly, you had 8 requirements. I don't think. I think good luck. Good luck.
Look, can't be too small, can't be too big. Must have a nice gym. Must have a pool.
A pool and the dog shit pickup.
Oh yeah, no. I just can't enforce policy. So I want to see a dog park, so that when I walk up to you and I see you leave your dog shit, and I walk up to you and I'll be like, yo, your dog has a whole designated area, okay? And it's not this sidewalk.
Hannah. Who does he sound like right now? Sir, I just have to tell you, there are no dogs allowed on this trail.
We didn't know. We didn't know he was just like that man.
Exactly. Hey, you look.
The guys would be like,
okay,
Karen.
That's not real. Ain't nobody buy that stuff. You know?
I get it for it's like 46 in a can or something like that.
How many people, Mendes, you know that drink that water? I just want to touch on that.
No one, exactly. I remember Anton when he was a young buck, couldn't afford Perrier or whatever. Hey, Hannah, you need to
My French family used to drink that, and they had babies drinking that shit, but they had a different level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different level.
You got French family?
Hey, you're screaming. You're screaming again. Just listen, whenever you come forward and then you talk loud, everybody's ears are going to bleed. But if you stay probably right there, you could probably yell. Like, ah! And it'd be cool.
Okay.
I don't mind you getting excited, but you can't come forward and get excited. Like, ah!
Okay.
Same thing with me, though.
I think the microphone need to be on something that moves when I move, you know? So when I come forward, it goes forward.
Put it on just attach it to a stick to your neck, to your forehead.
On a pulley.
Just like this. You just stick it.
I'm not too loud, am I?
No, you're fine. You probably got those things probably automatically change.
No, you're fine. You're just fine. He's not even speaking into anything. Just his computer.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do anything special.
It's right there. My mic is my headphone.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. I see you.
All right. Hannah, you're French and what? Irish?
No, I'm not French. I just have family that's French, but they're not like. It's like my aunt married a French guy. He's not related to me.
So what's your ethnicity? What's your how do we make Hannah?
White.
White.
Yeah, I would say mostly white. I would say wrong, but you know, I don't know. I think I'm a medley.
Medley.
A white medley.
Right.
I did when I looked it up. It was like so many percent. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I did a 23andMe, and it was interesting data.
Did you?
Updating it. Yeah, they keep updating it. And like so, as more fun fact, Black people don't look up their ancestry or like their genetics or anything like that. It's like exponentially more white people in the pool of genetics, and like
I can see that.
All of the white side of my family is like broken down. Like it's like I'm 12.5% Irish, and then this much like British, and then like from places, and it was like 74% West Africa.
That's it.
That was you.
That's like a quarter of a continent, of the largest continent of the planet. Like, yeah, West Africa.
Oh my goodness.
But it was cool. So now I have like more breakdown, and those percentages change as they get more people in. They find like the problem is that it's not that I'm not from like genetically or ethnically from different places. It's the fact that they don't have that information yet. And once they get that gene, it's like you have this gene called like XYZ123, right? And you're the only one in it, or they haven't found.
Bro science. This is bro science again. Here he comes, Anton, Dr. Anton.
All right, and then it start making matches and be like, "Yo, you got a cousin," because we've never seen anybody with that genetic compound makeup recipe that is. It can't be by chance that is so close to yours. You know. And then then they find like, oh, you have a cousin.
Yeah, and then they're like, hey, your cousin actually is a serial killer, and we just arrested him.
Yeah, it definitely gets weird. My mom did something like that, and then this guy started messaging her on Facebook and said he was her cousin too. But I said, don't talk to that man.
Don't talk to him. They go, what's funny? Don't talk to him.
You cannot trust him. He just
I am the most not talking. I only talk to my nuclear family, bro. I have. The people who live in the same house with me, that's my family. The rest of them, I'd be like, I don't know y'all, man.
Yeah, people be claiming they're your cousin. It's like, I don't think so.
Listen, it's probably because how much of your family shops at Whole Foods, dude? Let's talk about that. Not a damn single one of your family shops at no damn.
My family's a lot of like hood rich though. They could do better, but they choose to prioritize over shoes or clothes or cars, you know, like
listen to him.
I wear Brooks, okay, around most of the time, Adrenaline or what's the other one, Transcend to walk around, and I wear Chuck Taylors, and I don't even have any other shoes. That's it. I have like 4 pairs of shoes. I got dress shoes and hiking boots. That's it. 5 pairs of shoes. Hannah, how many pairs of shoes you got?
I have a lot of shoes, but it's not as I think Menace has more shoes.
Okay, really? I definitely have more shoes, but to my defense, I've gotten a lot of those very inexpensively. Okay.
Do you know like calves like broke every shoe of your shoes? Your calves like exploding your shoes, and every month you got to replace them.
No, I just my uncle.
You got to change shoes every game.
No, my uncle and I have the same shoe size. So if he gets a pair of shoes and then he doesn't like them or whatever, like
he got a good gig.
That's the uncle from. Is that the uncle from Miami?
Yeah.
This dude
he got cool stuff.
Used to this man. I've never heard a bad story about this uncle.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And I like
good
a lot of
clothes,
I got
good shoes.
I got like a lot of random like nice clothes. Like I'll have like a Dolce shirt. You know, just like in the closet.
Or that velvet suit jacket.
Oh, like I do have. Where is that? Hold up. No, it's not close. It's not close. No, it's too far. I'm aware. I'm aware.
How many
next time.
authentically 100% silk shirts do you have that
No silk, no silk.
Oh, look how mad you got. What's your teeth doing?
Right?
You got real upset about that silk.
No, I don't have any.
It's
I don't
okay.
have any. If I had silk, I'd wear it, and it, you know, but I
know
don't
you
have
would.
silk.
You'd be proud to wear it, probably.
Dude, we need to go to Miami. I'm still royally jealous. Probably there's like 3 regrets in my life, and one of them is not going to Miami with you and Sean.
Were you invited?
No, I don't think I was. Or maybe I was invited. Maybe I was. I want to look. In this universe, I'm invited. In another universe, I wasn't invited, okay? In this universe we live in, I was invited, and I was too broke to go.
All right, let's just put this out there.
And now he wants to remember how broke he was, because now he buying the orange juice, the Perrier.
You know
I feel
what?
that. Whole Foods.
You know I never feel broke? Because I don't have student loans. You got student loans, you broke. I don't care who you is and what you make. I know people who make $200,000 a year and still got student loans. That's a problem.
All right, fine. But let's go back to the Miami trip, okay? First of all, I was broke, and I was super broke, okay? And he was broke too. Just hang on. Second of all, first of all, I was broke, so that's a bad excuse. Second of all, you know yourself, and you at that time were not gonna make it, okay? First of all, third of all, if that's such a thing.
Wait, I wasn't gonna make it.
Okay, let's put it this way. You and me probably would have been fine. Me and Sean barely were fine. You and Sean, no, absolutely not. At that time,
oh my gosh, bro, that would have been lifelong memories. You should have came
at that time.
You should have came to my birthday. This past birthday.
Okay, maybe, but think about you guys. There was a time when I went over to their house and they were drinking Bud Lights out of a box. The box of Bud Light. Like,
was that night we got into a fight with that frat?
Yes. That was crazy.
Did I kick a guy down the stairs? Because I thought about it before.
No,
after? I thought about it after, and I was like, why do I have this really detailed memory of kicking a guy down some stairs?
I don't think you kicked anyone, but, you know, like, white people don't fight like that. You know, they do a lot of pushing and shoving and stuff. And, you guys were not in the right mindset. And I was like Hercules. I was holding people back.
I remember
just like,
Sean had suits on. Me and Sean had suits on that night.
I think so.
And we like ran upstairs and changed it to like sweatpants and tank tops. Like, I know I do. Like, I had pants that you could like rip off with the buttons on.
They were like, hey, I got a great idea. Let's go uninvited to this frat party.
Girls invited us.
Okay.
Girls invite us.
Yeah, okay. And let's go there. There's a bunch of like overweight, unattractive males, and we are like 3 fit, you know, non-whites.
Brother was there. Brant was there.
Oh, was he? Yes. You know what? I didn't know him then. You're right.
Yeah.
And so we go in there, and immediately they all like congregate, and they're like,
I don't even know if that might have been the first or second fight I got in that house. I know I got in 3 fights. The third fight I got arrested.
Oh, God. They were like, hey, there's minorities in the house. It's time. Load them up.
They had this one mixed kid who looked like Drake.
I don't think so.
They like, you saw somebody like send him over like, yo, go talk to your bros. Like, he was like, hey man, you know, you guys were like invited, were you?
Yeah, I hate that.
Like, I just looked at him and he knew what this look meant. I was just like,
The problem was the girls kept coming over and talking to us. So that was the problem too.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Bro,
bad news.
We stole their water before the year started. We filled up a pool. If you don't know how much like to fill up a pool, like a above.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
With our neighbor's water before school started.
I remember that.
think they probably had like a $1,200 water bill.
Listen, you know the funny part is when I say we're gonna get canceled, we're gonna end up getting canceled. And if Sean don't think he's ever gonna get canceled, Sean is definitely getting canceled. We are all getting canceled.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bad dude. I would go back and do it all the same.
Listen to how messed up we were. Speaking of Miami, okay? So this is how messed up it was.
Go back to Miami.
We were drunk. We were drunk walking the streets of Miami like, hey, why not? It was like our first night there. Listen, let's go back. The idea was.
What was the idea? Whose idea? It was your idea.
Yeah, it was mine. It was mine. It's my uncle. And it was.
You taught him how to drive stick too. I'm so jealous.
Okay, listen. That I didn't just teach him how to drive stick. I was like, hey, I don't have time to teach you how to drive stick. It was like a last minute decision. I don't think I told my uncle we were staying there until like we had already left. And I was like, oh, by the way, we're staying a week or whatever, like 4 or 5 days, right? And so I taught Sean how to drive stick on the way down. So like literally like the first hour, I'm showing him how to do it, and then I went to sleep because I had been working crazy hours.
Oh, that is a great idea. You went to sleep after he had barely learned to drive?
Yeah. So he's like grinding my gears. He'd never been. He's like,
you're dumb. He's dumb. Everybody dumb. I don't know what to tell you. You tried to teach me in the parking lot, and I got him in there. I'm a lot smarter than him.
Here's what I want you to do. Hannah, look.
I would have never drove on the highway.
Look at the bottom left. You see the mute? You see the mute? You see how it's like green when you talk? If you scream, it probably goes up to red, right? So you'll be able to tell if you're talking too loud. You just watch that thing. Anyways, all right, Miami. So we're driving down there, and I wake up, and Sean's doing like 100. I'm like, Sean. What are we doing? So he and I, we got to Miami in like maybe 14 hours. We got to Miami in 14 hours.
Dude, I drove 14 hours, and it was from like, we were already almost out of Florida when we went to like Orlando or something like that. Yeah, we went to Disney. Disney is Orlando.
I think we made it in I'm pretty sure we made it in 14 hours. It took us like 16 back. Yeah. All right, so
so
that's how we got there. The first night, we're like drinking or whatever. The first night, I got my phone, and there's like these like pretty girls with some dudes or whatever.
Yeah.
And we hear them talking some other language. So I'm like, hey, I think they're speaking French. And Sean's like, I'm gonna use my Google app. I'm gonna say some shit. When I looked the next day, because we'd been drinking a lot the first night, and when I looked at what I was saying, they got really pissed at us. And they were like, but this is like trying to fight us and stuff. And we're like, whoa. But then I looked at what I wrote, and it was like, hey, we're going to follow you home. Like, it was just like crazy stuff. And I was saying it in French, and they looked at me like, how do fuck this guy speaks French? You know, like he didn't know what it was. And I was saying stuff that was not right. You know what I mean? It's bad news.
Did you take French in high school and college?
No, I took Spanish, but Google.
Google.
So I'm saying something. When I looked the next day, I was like, oh my gosh, no wonder they're so pissed at us. I was like, we were just saying messed up stuff, like take your clothes off, like weird shit. It was terrible. So anyways, that was night one. And then my uncle, because he's like in the club scene or whatever, we should call him. Hey, that's what we're gonna do. Let's see if we can get the speakerphone to work.
We don't have the software to call people yet.
It's okay. I'm gonna see if the speakerphone. Let me see if you can hear it.
Hey, it can't be worse than Hannah's audio, so we can.
Oh, I know, right? Let's see if. Tell me if you can hear him. I gotta take one of these off. Can you hear the ringing?
Yeah, we hear it.
Like good?
Yeah.
He's not gonna answer. I bet.
He's like, why is this dude calling me?
Thanks for calling. I'm not available to take the call right now.
It's 9:20 and on a Thursday in Miami, bro.
He's just waking up.
Oh, Judge. COVID.
So he, all right. So he, am I too loud now? I turn my mic. I turn my echo.
Yeah, you're yelling.
So he, so anyway, it was cool. Like he took care of us. So like I was like wearing his clothes and stuff, like going out, and he'd get us in all these. Oh, and then the second night we like ate like sushi, like took us out to eat, whatever. We're like talking stuff, whatever. And then he takes us to this bar. And let me tell you this is how I learned that all men of all kinds are fucked up. Okay. So he and I go to this bar, and people are being really nice to us. I'm like, man, like he comes back, he's got like 2 drinks in his hand. He's like, hey, he's got like these 2 dudes around him. And like these guys, they're like, and then they're like, oh yeah, how you doing? Oh yeah, you like being down here? You know, how's it going? You know, you feel good? You know, they're like talking to us, like making us feel real good, and then like getting us drinks. And I was like, oh, you're hitting on us. You're gay. I was like, oh.
Gay bar without telling you?
Yes, I was like, oh, and then I realized I was like, oh, men spit game at men. It's the same game.
Oh, it's the same way. It's the same way.
What we spit at women.
Before that?
Maybe, but I didn't. It wasn't. I didn't know.
This is look. If you get hit on by a guy, not like, and I'm not even like I'm pro, like whatever. Like I have gay friends, whatever. Like, but when you get hit on by a guy by surprise, and then you didn't know it was a surprise, you're like you said, oh.
Like, oh, I thought you were really interested in me. It turns out you just wanted to fuck me.
My friend, Fred.
That's what it was. Like, oh yeah. Oh, how long are you in town? What are you doing? What are you doing tonight? You know. So that's when I realized that night that the game, the man game, is the same if they're. It don't matter what they're hitting on.
Even with guy games, something I would never do again is never yell an obscenity or like a cat call. I never cat call a girl ever again in my life. I learned that like early. And it was one time I was walking with Jenny, and we were coming back from a date night and walking back to our apartment in Hong Kong. And there was these 3 white dudes. And this one guy goes in this deep Scottish fucking accent, goes, and look at what he say, like, I can't do Scottish accent. Look at the thighs on that bitch. Like that. And I was like, I stopped, and I was so angry, and I was about to turn around, and Jenny was like, no, let's just go. And he's like, what? Do it. Come on, turn around. And he was like 5'3", right? And I was just like, I went through my head like Denzel in Equalizer. I was like, grab the ballet pole, smack the big one. He had a friend who was like 6'10", smack the big one, kick the medium-sized guy, and just beat the shit out of the little one. But I was just like, how that made me feel after that. Like, I talked about it to her for like 2 days. And I was just like, you know what? That's how it feels if like some strange dude, like, and I don't even say that, like, I don't feel like I say anything that's offensive. But like, if a girl's running, she don't want to be like, hear you like, damn girl, like, Hannah, you run. Like, right? And I think because you've been running for a long time, that you have a different like confidence when you're out on the road. And so you don't really listen and pay attention to people for the most part, I'm assuming. But like recreational runners, they run so slow that they hit everything. And then like, damn shorty, nice ass, something like that, you know? And then like, Mike, you've never thought about this before your run. No, it's too dark. Some guys might hit on me at the park, or I might feel like, you know, I can get snatched up at a park. You've never thought that on your run.
No.
You never thought about it. Your implications are like weather, environment, like, damn.
Kinda. I was running, I got hit by a soda can once. Somebody threw it out the back of the truck. They were like, hey, motherfucker. And I turned and I got hit with a can of soda, full can of soda.
Hey, sidebar. People who yell shit out of the car while you're biking or running, they're so corny. Like on the top of it, like, run, Forrest, or like, oh, what's up, Lance? Like, I'm like, I've never heard another joke. Those are the only 2 jokes. And I'm just like, you're drunk in a car and you're overweight.
This is what my mom will say. My mom goes, Viva la France! Viva la France! Viva la France! I'm like, Ma, I ride my bike too. Can you leave the guys alone?
You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing. Like, but you have to, I think it's like a lot of growth when you put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Like, and I would just, like Hannah, you have a story where you felt uncomfortable running past a group of guys at night or something like that, or even in the morning.
Yeah, but I have to think about it, you know.
Yeah.
I hope he's storing it up.
All right, my uncle texted me back, so we're gonna call him. We gotta. I want to be able to clip this whole. You're not gonna be able to. He's gonna be able to hear me only, not you guys.
That's all right. Papi Chulo, what's up?
What up, Unc?
That was close.
What's going on?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, I'm on my podcast with my two friends, and we were just talking about the trip when Sean and I came down. He's not on the podcast, but what do you remember about that?
I remember that you were 19 years old. You were dating.
No, after that one, not that one. After that, it was when I came during grad school. It was with Sean, the black kid. Well, I guess all my friends that I brought were black, but when it was just me and him.
There was that one white guy.
No. See, that was the first time when I came with. That was with. I had the Kwame, the white kid that didn't talk. I had the girl from she was from the Barbados, and then my girlfriend. Yeah, no. After that, I came in grad school. That was when I wore out your clothes, and everything. But then Sean and I came for like 5 days during spring break.
And I didn't, and I'm still sad.
Mm-hmm. And then I brought people over to your house, and you were like, "What do you mean?" And I cooked for all those people, like random kids.
Okay, so that was coming back to me.
Yeah.
Uncle had some margaritas tonight. So okay, yeah, you cooked. Now this was at. I'm trying to remember which apartment it was at though.
Yeah, it was.
Because the first time was on Euclid.
I think it was the same one. I think it was the same one. It was when, and then I remember I shaved my chest. And he was like, and my uncle came back and he said, you shaved? And I said, yeah. He said, oh, you manscaped? I said, yeah. He said, where'd you do it? I said, I did it on the balcony. You're like, oh, you did it on the balcony. Oh, my neighbors are gonna have something to say later on when I talk to them.
I'm trying to. Okay, when you came down the first time, you were 19.
Yeah, I was 19. I didn't drink, nothing. Like, I was a good kid.
Right. When you were in grad school, how old were you?
I was 22, 23. We were 23. I was 22, 23, yeah. And you got us into, like, the first night that we were down there, I think you took us and, like, we got sushi, and then you took us to some bar, and I didn't know that it was, like, a gay scene. And then he and I were getting hit on and getting drinks bought for us, and I was like, man, these people are really nice here. And then I was like, wait a minute, they're hitting on us. Like, I had no idea. I was so, like, naive.
Why is this?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember where I was working at the time, though.
You were at the one with the M. No, it was like, what was that? It was right at, I don't know. You weren't, yeah, you were at Space. You were at Space. Because you got us into Space, and we drove to Space that night.
Okay, so 10 years ago.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, 10 years ago, for sure. And then you, like, brought us in the back. You got us a table. We had bar service, like, and so, all right, I'll just tell you one story. So then my uncle comes back. I'll tell the story, and then I know it doesn't sound like you're recognizing this time frame. So anyways, listen to this story. So my uncle comes, and he's like, hey, he comes, and he, like, we're getting whatever drinks we want. Like, it was a great time, whatever. And so my uncle comes and finds me, and he's like, hey, where's Sean at? And I was like, I don't know. He said, I just saw him on the video. He was a midget was grinding on him in the bottle service, like in VIP. Anyways. So anyways, I'll call you later. We're talking about how I have all your shoes and everything still.
So no, we okay, I started working at Space in January of 2010.
Yeah,
and then I moved back to South Beach in September of 11.
Yeah, so this is 11. No, this is spring of 12, I think.
Spring of 12.
Yeah.
It was spring of 12.
Uh-huh.
Like, you're really rattling my brain right now.
Yeah, and then you got us into Matilda one night. We had a bunch of drink tickets. I think it was called Matilda.
No, Mansion.
Oh, Mansion. Yeah, that. Yeah, we were like all over the place.
I got you to Mansion.
Yeah, we were all over the place.
It's slowly coming back.
All right, I love you. I'll talk to you later.
Wait, listen. How did the snow melt already?
Yeah, it melted. Yeah, it's gonna be in the 60s tomorrow, and then it's gonna be back in the 70s and 80s. Isn't that crazy?
So, did anybody say, like, where this came from, or
it looked like
how it happened?
It came from your country, from Canada.
So it was a jet stream.
Yeah, it just like came straight down from the north, and then basically hit like Montana, Minnesota, everything like that, like in the middle of North Dakota, and then came straight down to Denver and then to me. So yeah, it was crazy.
You know, I don't know if you know this, but I have a really good friend that lives in Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And I've been threatening to go visit him.
Yeah.
Now I have a better reason to go.
Yeah, do it. I got a spare room.
Oh, that's awesome.
Everything's great. Yeah, everything's great. We'll catch up. I'll call you tomorrow.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, all right, love
Bye.
you. Bye. Yeah.
It's like I'm a few margaritas deep.
Listen, he's drunk. Did you hear him? And that man don't get drunk. Like, that man don't get drunk. He's probably been drinking for real. Okay, listen.
He said he doesn't get drunk. Like,
So,
he doesn't have the ability or the tolerance to get drunk.
like, I'm like, did you drink the whole bottle? You know, like, of hard liquor? Yeah, with water. Oh, okay. So listen, okay. So he didn't even remember any of this. I mean, he was busy. He's like working crazy hours, right? So anyways, I look over and Sean is giving out like he's got Coronas in, like, we got a bottle and we got all these Coronas too, because they asked us what he wanted. We wanted Corona, whatever. And so like it's us, and we met these people, and we're like, yeah, want to come to my uncle's club tomorrow night, whatever. Great, whatever. So we're in VIP of one of the biggest clubs that ever existed, right? And I look over, and Sean's like, Sean is leaning back in the chair, and there's a midget. He's like sitting down, and there's a midget grinding on Sean, and he's got a bottle in his hand. He's like, all I had to do was give her a beer. And he's like so happy about it. Look at Hannah's face. Look at how like she's like, what the heck is going on in this podcast?
Anyway. Hannah's from the Bible Belt, so you know, they don't do gyrating of the hips.
Things are crazy.
Elvis is the most secular in Hannah's house.
Things are crazy.
Look, you from St. Louis? It's a 9.9 out of 10 chance that you went to Sunday school every Sunday.
Hannah, I won't say anything, Hannah. I'm gonna let you tell your family stories.
Hey, Hannah, do this. Do a better one. Talk about your 20s from the difference between your 20s and your assumed 30s.
She ain't in her 30s yet.
I'm not 30.
What?
She's younger than you, bro.
No.
Yo, man. All right, show's over.
Ooh, yeah.
Mike, the 20s versus your 30s. Are you better? Are you better than? What do you? No, that's too objective, too black and white. What are you better than now in your 30s than you were in your 20s? And what were you better in your 20s than you are in your 30s?
The 20s is a long time. What do you mean?
I know.
I've only had 2 years of 30 versus 10 years of 20.
Hey, 2 years of 30 is 10 years of 20. All right. 1 year of 40 is gonna be your decade of 30.
I was an ape. I was a chimpanzee when I was in my 20s. Now I've just started to become a human.
No. All right. So like some of the simple one, like, all right, in my 20s, I was long distance wise, could definitely run longer, way further. Faster now, I would say something like that.
I'm fatter now. That's
a good.
When I was in my 20s, I could do anything. Okay, so if you're talking like physically,
hungover, right? Back in the day.
See, remember, I drink more now than I did back then. You don't remember me drinking like crazy back then, do you?
No. I mean, you and I were like beer connoisseurs, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I always drank, but I was never like, you know. I mean,
I've had 3 drinks in the last.
Listen, we're not competing.
Drinks in the last like 6 months.
What?
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I swear, I stopped drinking to study for the LSAT, and then I went like out of town and I had a beer.
All right. Well, besides all that, Smack, when I was in my 20s, like, I don't know, you knew me early in my 20s, like, and then I just worked. Like, I just worked nonstop. So like I did drink, but like when I was coaching, like all I did was just like work. So I wasn't like, I was like having a great time. But like in the summers, I would have like a big party at my aunt's house, and then we would drink a lot. And those are the things. But anyways, physically, like what I can do now, like my late 20s, I broke my foot. When was that, Hannah?
Oh yeah, I remember you stepped off a fucking curb.
Yeah, I went 4:15 for the mile.
You broke your foot in 2015.
Yeah, I went like 4:15 for the mile, and then 4 days. No, 4 days later I broke the foot.
That's because you was running too much.
No, no. I used to be able to train like twice or 3 times a week at most, and I could run 4:30. You know what I mean? Not even.
Wow. Yeah. I think I'm like that now, but not running 4:30. Like now, like it's so like if you don't stop, as long like you could stop, like you could, you know, like say you take a week off, whatever. That's a long time. But like you've been running, like Hannah, when did you start running?
Like running, or like running? In
general, running. Like your first ever like track meet or cross country meet.
Oh, high school.
High school, right? You have not stopped. Running has been a part of your life since high school, at least a decade. And I think it takes, and if I had to nail down a time, I think it takes 10 years to get good at running. To like, you got to learn, like not learn the sport, but learning how to run. And when you see people run on the street, it just looks so painful that they don't know how to run. It looks so painful. Like it's crazy. But would you agree, Mike, that it takes a decade to learn running?
All right. If you have an 11-year-old,
yes,
I can teach an 11-year-old in 5 minutes.
Yes.
And then if I have a 15-year-old, it's going to take me 20 minutes.
Yes.
If I have a college kid, they're only going to learn if they want to, and who knows how long that'll take. If I have an adult, I had 2 adults I tried to work with, and they were like unteachable almost. Like they're physically they're
I don't feel as nobody's unteachable.
Okay, so I only work with 2
long time.
And they have to want to too. So like in terms of like teaching people how to run, like you have to be taught just like you have to teach people form in the gym when they're lifting. It's not different.
Yeah. Like I had a client today, she fell. Like during our session, we were doing like a bird dog, right? She's a 60-year-old lady, she fell. And she was like, oh, well, that didn't feel good. But like she has some surgeries and her thing is like to get her balance back. And she's doing better, but I'm like, look, when's the last time you tried this movement? Like this is your second time learning it. You know, she's been my client for like 2 weeks, you know. And the fact that like people expect to like just be like, boom, be good at something simple doesn't mean that it's easy. Running is simple. You are genetically made. That is what makes us different from, you know, what is that, caveman or before caveman. We run upright. Chimpanzee. That is fundamental, like the most human thing you can do physically.
Yeah, but we jack it up. We jack it up so we don't do it right. Like most people run improperly. I believe. Why do I believe? I believe it's because of shoes.
Okay. Yeah. David Rhodesia, the most beautiful running form I've ever seen in my life. Nobody runs more beautifully than David Rhodesia.
Here's the secret. The secret is
his pair of shoes till he's 15.
Well, there you go. The secret is not to run barefoot, but to run like you're barefoot. Bam.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is my thing. I think technologically, shoes have to give us an advantage over somebody who's barefoot. All right, there are advantages. All right, well, if it's hot outside, I'm not going to get 3rd-degree burns is number one. You know, if my arches get tired, they're forced to be supported. Protection elements.
But the thing is, what it does, yes, it allows us to run and run a lot more too.
How do you run like you're barefoot?
So it has to. All right. So basically, the idea is it's vertical push versus horizontal force. And so when you if you run distance like a sprinter, you take the amplitude down. So like sound waves, you think of a high like amplitude, which means like that. So then you do the same. The amplitude looks the same whether it's quiet or loud. It's all the same.
I call it the Kenyan shuffle. You ever seen Kenyan runners after their race and they just keep shuffling?
Yeah,
they keep moving how they warm up. They like last the 10K.
Well, it's all
warm up so slow.
Well, that's something entirely different, I think. But yeah,
cadence.
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter what speed you're running.
No speed. Yeah, no matter what speed, the technique looks the same.
Correct. Yeah, the technique's the same no matter what speed. Correct. Yeah, I could teach anyone how to run.
So the reason is, you say it's shoes.
Okay, so if you spend any time with 5 or under-year-old kids and you watch them running barefoot, or you watch them running, they run the same barefoot that they do with shoes on. And then once they get 5, 6, 7, 8, you could see like the best kids that kind of separate themselves from the worst kids athletically or speed wise. It's the ones that maintain their mechanics and the ones that didn't, and they have just like walking mechanics.
So how are kids able to maintain? Is it introducing sports into their lives early and being lucky enough to have a good coach? Because listen, Donovan Brazier's parents, was his dad an Olympian?
I don't know that. Hannah should know that.
But at that level, right? Like
I don't know that.
Allison Felix, like people like that. Like there are some anomalies who've had Olympian parents and like given that athlete gene, right? However, is there another kid? Like, how do these kids maintain that athleticism or that good
push mechanics? It's no different than like, think about a kid who, yes, a good coach would be there. However, there aren't many coaches like me out there. And so like, so like if you have a hitting coach, like if you're wealthy, there's a good chance that you're taking your kid to golf and they're learning proper mechanics and how to create a whip. Just like if you're taking a kid to kickboxing, they're going to understand how to use their hips to whip and create more force.
However, with running though, I think it doesn't matter. Like running is a sport is if you have it. You can work for it. But running is a sport. But look, black kids don't get that like running summer track, like, you know, experience or having a one-on-one trainer. My friend Reed had a one-on-one trainer in the summers.
It didn't help.
And I was just like,
just kidding. Love you, Reed.
But listen, but there's a talented kid like Sean whose parents weren't even athletes.
Yeah, but Sean has good mechanics. So the mechanics can be okay. Evan Yeager. Okay, Evan Yeager's push mechanics are he probably just always did it that way. Like there are some athletes that just always do it. I coached those athletes that just always did it that way. And then for everybody else though, I had to teach them.
But I'm saying, where did the foundation come from? You said there was a
they got lucky
between these kids.
They got lucky.
Genetically, like it just comes to me, right?
For whatever reason, they were okay. Like they started running that way, and then they kept running that way.
Okay.
That's it.
So Poland, in the 50s, after I think it was before World War II. Polish would do a physical examination. In Poland, we get a lot of like what we call PE, right? And like structurally, systematically. And they would come to schools and test all the kids. So Soviet Union country at the time, they would come and test the kids. And they would do like, you know, all right, we're going to test your thumb dexterity or something like that, your wrist size, how far you can jump. Yeah. They would load half your body weight on a bench press and see how many times you can press it, right?
Yeah.
And different coaches, based on your anatomy, you know, they would take you and be like, you're in gymnastics.
Yeah.
You're in weightlifting.
Yeah. There's bio variability.
We don't have that in the U.S.
There's right. No, we don't. There is, but we also have like the best athletes on earth too, though.
How? So how do we get that? How do we get this pool? Obviously, you know, America has more people than Poland.
And sports. Sports is important. We have high school, middle school, high school sports. Yeah. They have more. Can she crawl?
A lot of places, a lot of places don't focus on so many sports like we do. You know?
We have a lot of sports. We have a lot of options. And that's a good thing because the more sports you have, the more opportunity you have. See, you could get in the weeds with this because you can also talk about the age differences. So like if you ever knew anything, if you ever, you know, Malcolm Gladwell, he talks a lot about, you know, a 10-month difference in age. Both of those boys are going to compete against each other. And one is going to be bigger just because of their genetics. And then therefore they'll get more playing time. And then therefore they're going to have, you know, more opportunities to get better.
It's like the research behind a 6'1" guy, right? a 6'1" guy gets way more life opportunities than like a 5'11" guy. You know,
athletically.
No, just in life in general. Like if you're above 6 feet, you tend to be automatically like almost handsome automatically.
Yeah, there's some attraction to you if
You
you're
know?
6 foot, I guess. Yeah.
I had a smile. She was like, "Yeah, I guess."
I feel the same way. I'm very tall.
I'm not gonna speak.
I'm very tall for my height, so I
Yeah.
feel the
Yeah,
same.
he doesn't feel disadvantaged.
Okay, let's put it this I haven't felt short since like high school.
Yeah, exactly. In high school, I was short.
I felt
High
short.
school, I was coming
He
into high school,
overcame his struggle.
4'11". Bro, high school, I remember this. Look, this is a secret. This kid named Brandon Massey, all right? If you ever find him up, look, we had the last day of school. For some reason, they wanted to measure us for our like cap and gown and stuff, right? So the last day of school, we all got measured. We all had to get in line. This is 8th grade. And Brandon Massey was before me because they was like line up for tallest or shortest. And it was me and Brandon Massey at the end of the line. And Brandon looked at me and was like, "Come on, man, get behind me." And then I stood behind him and I let him go first. And the guy was like 4'10". All right. And then I went and I was 4'11". And then Brandon turned around and was like, Anton, you the shortest in the school. And I was just like, bro. So get to high school, first year, I'm 5'3", my freshman summer after that. Next year, I'm 5'7". And then after that, I'm 5'9". And then that's my height through like whatever my life. And Brandon never got above 5'4".
But it was just an inch back then.
He was just a little shrimp.
Yeah, but no, like, yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, for sure. But I haven't felt short since I used to feel short.
Yeah.
And I'm not a tall person, but I haven't felt short in a long time. I can look up to people, but I don't feel short anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Hannah, what's your take on that?
I think that you overcame your struggle and you found your own confidence, and now you don't need people to make you feel bad. You just feel good about being bad. It's okay.
There's a terminology out there.
About being bad.
It's called medium ugly. They call it medium ugly.
That's what he is. Medium ugly.
Me and Mike, we medium ugly.
He called you medium ugly.
Look, we too fine for the ugly and too ugly for the fine. All right.
Here's a good here's a good experiment.
Look, I know I ain't like knocking them down when I walk up in the bar, but I can leave with one. You know what I mean? I got some other attributes to stack on top of that that help me out.
You got to use your other selling points. I got you.
I can make a laugh, and then boom, I'm in I am medium ugly, all right? There's inside of medium ugly, there's social classes, all right? It ain't just hot and cold, all right?
It's the orange juice Perrier drinking class.
There you go, right there. See, that's like, ooh, he clean. He make a regular T-shirt look good. All his workout gear is Lululemon. Wow. His apartment smell like
you wear Lululemon? Who have you become?
Yeah,
they make men's clothes?
This is called a five-year tee.
Yeah, they make men's clothes.
All right, so.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Somebody Google it.
I swear to God, when I left the States and I went to Hong Kong, I saw guys wearing Lululemon, and I was just like,
in China?
Yeah. And I was like, it was like Western guys, like white guys. And I was like, yo, bro, like, dudes wearing Lulu, that's kind of sketch,
Yeah, that's how we're feeling about you.
All of a sudden, I got approached by one of my clients and was like, yo, we want you to be an ambassador. And I went almost through the whole process. And I was like, word, wow, like, this is really cool.
And then he was like, what are you doing later?
They said, hi, you want to drink?
Wow, I can't believe they make men's clothing.
Section. So, bro, you don't listen to me. All right, for your birthday, for Christmas, I'm gonna buy you something.
Do not get him something.
I'm gonna buy you a pair of running shorts, right, from Lululemon with the liner in them, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and these are gonna be your most favorite shorts.
He's gonna try not to wear them, and then he's gonna end up wearing them.
He wears them once,
and you're gonna hope he gets sold.
Wear them once, it's over. I'm trying to. I had Lululemon.
He's been making fun of people for wearing that brand for years. I don't know if he can wear them.
I know, but listen to me, Mike.
And he doesn't even know men wear it. Neither do I.
Mike, this is how good it is. This is how amazing Lululemon is. I went into a store in Scottsdale, Arizona with some shorts that I bought in like 2015. I did that like It was like a couple months ago, right? And I went in the store and I was like, yo, I ripped these in the crotch. And they were just like, we'll take it. Go ahead, pick something.
Wow.
I picked a pair of $90 shorts and I was like, yo. Then they repaired. I took like 5 pieces of clothes. I took all my little old Lulu clothes in there. I got a pair of pants, a pair of tights, like repaired, like everything. They hooked me up. Man. Only so you don't need it's like Nordstrom Rack. You don't need a receipt. You just go up in the store like, hey, this broke. This is broke. Yeah, and then they give you a new one.
You know what that's called? That's called white privilege.
No short. Listen, this is what she said. She looked at the short and she was like, "We don't even make these anymore." What year was this? I was like, "How long you been working here?" She like 3 years. I was like, "Yeah." So you wasn't even working at Lulu when I owned these, like that old. And they just took it back. No receipt, didn't ask nothing.
That's kind of crazy, cause
girl, Hannah, you don't own anything from Lulu.
No, I'm also against it a little bit. And I can't afford
listen,
it. Anton, who are you?
We don't make that money. What are you doing? What you selling?
All right, check this out.
Scraping by.
Answer this question. How many pairs of those Nike running shorts do you own, Hannah?
I actually don't have that many Nike running shorts.
All right, how many
I
pairs?
have a lot of running shorts.
All right, how many?
I have a lot of Under Armour, but mostly
Under Armour, whatever brand.
Mostly gave it to me.
Do you? Okay.
I didn't buy most of them.
Okay, well that's different. If you got a little sponsor, that's different.
Not a sponsor. I just work you.
I'm gonna have to beep that out.
Yep, we're gonna get in trouble. All right, just make a note. So many minutes. I don't know what minutes.
All right, Mike. How many pairs of running shoes do you have?
Listen, what are you saying right now? You're not. No, don't ask me about shoes because shoes are different.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm making my example. How many pairs of running shoes do you have?
Shoes?
Mm-hmm.
Why you want to know about my shoes, bro?
How many pairs of running shoes do you have?
How many Lulu running pairs of shoes you got?
I have maybe 3-4 pair of Lulu shorts. Not that
no, shorts. You asked me about shoes.
All right. How many pairs of running shorts do you own? How many T-shirts related to track and field or cross country do you own?
Ooh,
listen, you are asking the wrong person. You know how many shirts I actually paid for? Very little. None.
I asked you, how many do you have?
I have a ton of running shirts.
Now, boil it down to your 5 favorite ones.
This is one of them. This is one of my favorite ones. And
I wear that one more. Like
you're welcome.
She picked it out.
Right? You wear that one once a week or at least twice a month.
Yeah, but I didn't pay for it. Like
I'm saying.
You did say that.
Now, what about that shirt, other than Hannah got it, is your favorite? What makes it your favorite?
She picked it out. We have a nonprofit organization that bought it for me, right, Hannah? Or am I wrong?
I bought the shirt, but it's okay.
You actually bought the shirt with your money? With your money?
You said, bring me back a shirt, and I brought you back a shirt.
But who paid for it?
Me. My money. I paid.
I don't believe that.
Okay. Give me a check.
All right. So what about the quality of that shirt?
Fine.
It's great. It's a great shirt. And all of Lulu's stuff is great. I got it.
Not everything is great.
Listen, their stock is plunging. I was going to buy some of their stock. It's on the way down. Did you look at that?
Buy it while it's on the way down. And let it ride.
Well, it might keep going down. So.
No, buy it. We'll wait till it's hit a certain low and then buy it. Set a limit order. Anyway, quality is my point. Yeah. Once you find something that's quality, you don't have to buy a lot of them.
True. I'm with you.
You don't have to buy a lot of them. I have T-shirt wise, probably 6 or 7 T-shirts total.
How much is a T-shirt from Lulu?
Mm-hmm.
This one was originally $45. $45.
Okay.
Well, 55 or 45, but I get a discount, 25% off.
Oh yeah, because you're on
the
magazine.
Because you're in the magazine.
Because I'm in the magazine. I wish.
He's medium ugly, but they put him in the magazine.
Sweat Collective. It's like if you're a fitness professional, like yoga, a trainer, or something like that, you get 25% off because you're gonna do what I'm doing right now, unofficially.
Yeah.
See, all right. Now, if you get Lulu to sponsor us, I'm wearing all the Lulu. Be like, hey, Lulu to sponsor the podcast. Look at my Lulu shirt. You like it?
I'm gonna get y'all. Look, I'm gonna get Mike a pair of
Lulu
Lulu
shorts.
I'm gonna get you a pair of Lulu shorts too, Hannah, and y'all gonna rock them.
All right, you bring them. You get them to sponsor us. We'll wear them.
It's gonna be a favorite. Anyway, quality over quantity all day.
All right.
Listen, I'm not against it. It's just that we're not in the same socioeconomic status as you are with your damn orange juice.
I am not like, it's quality. You got to think about it. You spend money on something.
Yeah, you want to see? Yeah, no comment.
All right. So my next topic, we
nothing. Listen, I don't spend. I wish I spent my money on myself. I do have to buy like gadgets. I'm a gadget person.
Look, I think poor is a mindset. Okay.
Hannah, will you talk to this dude?
Broke
please?
is a reality.
He's losing it. All right. Bring it back.
Broke is a reality. All right. You could be broke, but poorly in your mind, right?
We are broke.
Like it don't cost a lot of money. It don't cost a lot of money to eat real food. You know, carrots, green onions.
Yeah, like, I eat the carrots and the green onions. I'm still broke. I eat the vegetables.
Hey, listen, Anton, we all got the MAP grant and the Pell Grant on this podcast, okay? We should have called this the MAP grant and the Pell Grant. I remember when you had the Pell Grant, okay? You forgot. You forgot.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
don't forget where you came from. That's gonna take you from.
Right? They tried to propel me to a stratosphere of a different socioeconomic status, all right? I don't have to stay there. Man, wait till I'm finished with law school. Woo! There you go. Never. You thought I was Bush, did.
You didn't even start law school yet. You can't talk about when you're done with it.
I already know. Look, I have 5 cars that I must have. I got to figure out a way.
We need to do more podcasts. We need to get some people. You need to call Dr. Lulu and get him on this podcast.
Bro, all right. So speaking of people, there's a group called Blacks for Trump. This is crazy, right? You ever see like how they do political? That one dude, and he's like, I'm a black guy. It was like, obviously. And it's like, Trump's going to make this happen. And let me tell you the sad story about my daughter getting killed by some gang members. That's why we need more police. It's like that man has been buying so much YouTube and like advertisement. It's crazy. I can't open a video on YouTube without seeing a Trump ad. And then Biden started buying a lot. It's crazy, right? This election. Anyway, there's a group called Blacks for Trump.
You in it?
No. They are, but I started looking up some people. Majority of these people, majority of them, meaning.
You got a gun? You own a gun?
No.
He does. We already talked about it.
I don't. It's an open carry say. I don't own a gun.
He wanted an emotional support gun, is what he said.
Scared. Yeah, right. I'm kind of scared to own a gun, but
I think that more young educated black people, not just men, need to have guns. So then these white people will shut the hell up.
See, but then the only time we had gun reform in this country is when the Black Panthers armed themselves legally.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm getting at.
But you remember what happened to everybody in the Black Panthers?
No.
Huey P. Freeman and my man, I'm losing the blank right now. He in Chicago. Damn, I can't think of it. Anyway, they're making a movie about him too. All of them were killed by FBI. Right. So anyway, Blacks for Trump. Most of these
we need to do research.
Students are first generation African. Big hyphen American. All right? Like either I was born in or my dad was raised in Nigeria, came here for his PhD in molecular, biomechanics. Yeah. And then I was born in Los Angeles and then I'm for Trump. And it's like
I feel some type of way.
It's like you skip over this whole era of like Black experience.
Okay, that's why I've always referred to people, because like people be like, oh, that person's like white or that person's black or whatever, but it's like, I understand that the color of their skin is this or that, but the fact is that you are okay. I would consider someone a black or brown person, but if you are from Jamaica, you know what I mean, or because you have in Puerto Rico, you have black people in Puerto Rico, you have black Puerto Ricans, but it's like. I mean, okay, so there were slaves in Puerto Rico, so that's a bad example. But my point is that there are people that, like, their culture is Black American, and they've been here. And it's same things with white. Yes, I'm a white-skinned person, but my culture is not white American or white America. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know, everybody, that's a different type of culture. So I don't like when people get generalized.
Those two cultures are constantly combating in so many ways. One of the things I find interesting about that, white versus black, for example, is that that's the only two cultures that can say that about each other and it be okay to the rest of the world. If a Native American and a Chinese or an Asian person was having a yellow versus red, a yellow person and that red person, that is, you see how wrong that is coming off my mouth? But
you wouldn't even hear that. Yeah.
Normalized like black and white is.
Yeah.
To be like, you know, like, all right, then I had a white friend who was like, is it okay to call a black person black? I'm like, yeah, I guess. I didn't make the word. It was before me time. It evolved from Negro and used to be with the hard ER, the other one, and so forth. And now we get to black. But I think that's one of the reasons is like, we maybe don't even know how to have conversations with each other.
It's not descriptive enough for me either. It's like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
you know, because like,
I used to dislike the term African American, but I was like, but it's accurate. It's accurate. It sucks because at the same time, I feel neither of either.
Neither of either, right?
Neither of either.
You're a brown-skinned American.
Yeah. You know, I was like, I don't feel African. I don't know anybody from Africa. I don't know any of my ancestors. I can go back to my grandfather. That's it.
Yeah, you're more American than me. My mom's Canadian.
Right? Is your mom Canadian? No way.
My mom, yeah. My grandparents came over from Italy into Canada because it was easier to immigrate, and then they had their kids there, and then they came to Chicago.
Hannah's still figuring out. She didn't tell me earlier.
Mixed white. What if she introduced herself? She said, "I'm mixed."
She said, "I'm mixed."
I am a little bit.
My tattoo artist in college, he was the whitest white man I ever seen. He was like, "I'm Native American."
Soccer. What does Trump call? What's her name? He calls her Pocahontas. No, he calls Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible. So, all right, taking that, right? The difference between like Kamala Harris and Obama. Obama living in Hawaii, Jakarta. Not real. Hawaii is America, but is America as Puerto Rico's America, as Alaska is America. It's not continental U.S.
Sure.
Where you have that experience. Hawaii is the most diverse state in all of the states. Hawaii is 26% like multiracial ethnic, right?
But his
more than 26% of the population is more than two ethnicities. The next closest state, which is second, is Alaska at 8%.
Yeah, because they got all the indigenous there. But listen, the thing is, I don't believe that neither Kamala nor Obama had lineage that through the United States were slaves, right? No, right?
I would.
What's the acronym?
Because her father is from Jamaica, I believe.
What's the acronym?
For
the descendants of slaves. Americans that were descendants of slaves. It's like a term.
Oh, shoot. I don't even know that one. I'm still reading the 1619 Project.
Hannah, this is where you got to Google it.
Yeah, you got to come in. You got a really good mic. So you gotta have a really fast finger.
Acronym for the...
for descendants of slaves in America.
Yeah. Because it's like now the correct term is like, you're not slaves, you were enslaved. Slaves is a present term, present tense. Slaves, the slaves. It's like, it's the Slavs. It's like present tense. We were enslaved.
ADOS.
There it is, ADOS.
American, born.
No, ADOS.
D.
I've never heard of this term. This is crazy.
ADOS. So that's the biggest thing. And those are the individuals, like, okay, prejudice.
Of slaves.
Okay, prejudice is real. People are prejudiced. Everybody's prejudiced to some degree. And prejudice is that is part of being human, is being a prejudice.
Yeah. You know, like to make a decision if your situation is safe or not. You stereotypes.
Not even.
I need to figure this out. Hey, that's a bad neighborhood. Why? Why they got bars on the window?
Not even like that's like prejudice. Like everyone to some degree, everybody judges everybody. Otherwise, you would have sex with everybody. You don't, because you have a preference.
So men are less prejudiced than women?
Yeah, for sure. But then again, that's a whole nother story. Hannah just rolled her eyes. That's a whole nother tangent. But I
have not met many women.
Yeah. Here's my biggest issue right now. I think that, like, along with Black Lives Matter and like what's going on right now is a good thing, but there are people that are not, that like, you don't know, like you are trying to feel worse and have a lot, not you, but there are people, especially like some activists, like white people, that are, they're like,
it's becoming their situation.
Yeah, and they're like hijacking some movement.
It's like the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement is about white women. It is not about sexual harassment of women. It is about white women. Okay? It is about white women.
Maybe it started there.
Being able to speak up, using their privilege and power to speak up and make their voice louder than all women. You know who's raped more than any woman on the planet?
Who?
Indian women.
Oh, they are raped more than
African
that?
women. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bad in India and Africa.
Yeah. So you're saying they made it a white problem when it's a women's problem.
Me Too became a hashtag, and it like lost there. You know, Me Too. Listen to me. You know how long it took them? Man, when did R. Kelly tape come out? I think it was like 2000. It took them 20 years. Like, come on, man. Like, listen. Still
nothing's happening.
No. All right. Put it in perspective. And then there's hierarchy in that. Like, look. Weinstein and Bill Cosby went to jail. They were both accused at the same time. Bill Cosby went to jail quick.
Yeah, but Bill, okay, so Bill was drugging them and taking advantage of them, whereas R. Kelly was just convincing them.
What is worse? This is going to be the most morbid question you've ever been asked, and I'm going to ask it openly. You want to be drugged when you rape, or you want to be well aware and awake?
Okay, I don't think that R. Kelly was raping them, though. R. Kelly was
statutorily.
He was messing with their minds.
He was Charles Manson,
right?
With girls and paying their families,
right?
Yeah, and had it on tape and all that, like Epstein.
He was right. Think about Epstein. Oh my God.
You know what's crazy to me? Look, I don't condone in what Epstein has done and been charged for, and it's a terrible situation because I'm sure it affects a lot of people's lives. But two things that are very inquisitive about that case is, number one, his very ancient biological thinking that's not so, the way that we do things now is modern, like society and our norms and sexuality and such is very new. What is that when you date one person? Monogamy, there we go. Monogamy, couldn't even find it. Monogamy is
it's so foreign to you.
It's moderate. It's like less than maybe 100 years old or 200 years old at most, right?
Well,
and the rest of the time it was like and it evolved. But anyway, so he was very ancient in his thoughts on sexuality. Like, all right, in the Bible, what they don't tell you is Mary is 14 and Joseph is likely 30.
Okay, where are we going with this?
Well, I'm just saying that was very interesting. The way they
didn't have sex.
I know, right? Finally, he had to afterward. Finally, like, look, I was talking to boys, calling me some names, right? You know how tough that is, bro? How tough is that? And you know what the story of that is? Like, they had to go back for the census because it was year one. They had to go back for the census. And when they get there, she pregnant, but they ain't married. She's gonna get stoned to death.
And then she was like, "It's Jesus."
And they went. Wait. They didn't go immediately though. They waited.
I don't know anything about it.
3 wise men came, and they were
Anna, this is your topic.
Boom. Here we go.
This is not my topic.
Anyway,
don't do that.
Right, so look, Epstein has a very old way of thinking when it comes to sexuality and age and stuff.
I don't know. I think you're speaking for this man. I don't know if you know enough about him.
It's not compliant for today. It doesn't matter. Look, if I don't believe it, it doesn't matter. That's the rules. So you broke the rules. You broke the law. You go to jail.
But he wasn't. So he wasn't. But
that's what I'm saying. Moral compass is rooted. He's definitely a piece of shit. He broke the law.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Like,
but you said monogamy.
No, we were talking about just how old, like, and young,
Oh.
and then our way monogamy begets the current social standards of now, and then, you know, boom, boom, boom. Well, we got monogamy, then eventually, if I got one wife, eventually we're gonna be equals together. If I have several wives, guess what? Y'all ain't worth that much because you could be easily replaced. So monogamy begets more power. When we married one person, it was usually rich people trying to keep money in the family. Second cousins was marrying, you know, Duke of Normandy and, you know, the Queen of England. She probably related to that motherfucker. Okay? So that was how you keep power.
Yeah,
okay?
but what does this have to do with Epstein?
Hold on. So I'm saying his way of thinking, his moral compass was rooted in a very ancient way of sex. Number one. All right?
What? Pay for sex?
No, that he thought it was okay to have sex with 14-year-old girls, like little 12-year-old girls.
Okay, maybe. Okay, let's take it back. So yes, I'm sure that Epstein didn't see a problem with being sexual with a young girl.
And be like, wow, shorty fine. That motherfucker was like.
Yeah. However, there are some states where 14 is still legal. Hannah, look that up.
Currently, no.
Hannah, look that up.
No.
Hannah.
Mississippi, without a doubt. There are some places.
We need to talk about this.
We just need to put barbed wire around Mississippi and just like leave it.
Yeah, Mississippi's bad.
All right, so look, the second.
Ain't nobody liked that.
Listen, the second thing is, homie, listen. There were people having payment arrangements, just like, and he was like, I mean, that was a transaction. There was a transaction. Again, I'm not combating. He's a piece of shit. He's a terrible person.
You are combating. You're not condoning.
What I'm saying is moral. I'm not condoning. I'm combating. Yeah. I'm arguing for just the
I hear you.
Right? People accept it. 20-plus-year-old women. Listen, Mike, if you 21 and you selling drugs, and this drug dealer who verbally manipulated you into selling drugs, and you keep selling drugs, and then one day you get caught and you mad, and or he stopped buying, you ain't as good at selling drugs anymore because you old. You in your 20s, you're illegal. You cannot. Wow.
Yeah, but people are dumb. People are dumb. There are cults.
So did he take advantage of her because he's not college educated? He's just an intelligent human being.
He was like, "Hey, I can."
But when is it personal responsibility? Can you manipulate somebody who's older? Yes, of course. But when is it personal responsibility? Like, all right, scammers calling grandma.
Yeah.
Sending some Nigerian my rent money.
Right.
Like the internet, Western Union. There's some personal responsibility. I can't be like, oh, I didn't know McDonald's wasn't safe. Every day, 3 meals a day, and I was gonna get fat.
Yeah, I believe in personal responsibility. I'm with you.
What age does personal responsibility come into play where you can say, yo, I fucked up. I made a bad decision. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I just made a bad decision. And I got to live with that. I can't bring somebody down because of that. Like, I got to learn.
The problem is that society is heading to a place where
accountability.
Well, they want to take it's almost as though what you're saying is they're trying to get rid of that. So like for instance, like you're
talking about, like you represent cancel culture or something like.
Yes, direct. Exactly. Because like think about it.
Buzzword, right?
Think about it. What you're saying is, if I have personal responsibility, let's say I'm at that nightclub that I was at in Miami, right?
Yeah.
And somebody talks to me in some type of way or does something, I'm like, no thanks. Like that's not what this is about. Yeah, or someone touches me or something, like, hey, don't touch me like that, or I don't appreciate that. But now people are saying almost as though like you're not even nothing is allowed to happen. If any, somebody can make a mistake, right? So like, but like you're people don't even have the personal responsibility to stand up for themselves. They have to wait 15 or 20 years and then take somebody down. Okay, yeah, that's a question too. Right. Like, look, do you do something and like were they building a case on this man? Of course. But like,
All right, go to Bill Cosby thing. If I
Oh.
invite you to my hotel at 3 a.m., Mike, you are one of my best friends, all right? One of the 5 best friends I have on this planet. I consider you my brother. If I invite you to, I say, Mike, meet me at this hotel at 3 a.m. Bro, and if you don't bring a gun.
I thought you killed, you're right. I thought you killed somebody. I might bring a shovel.
That's the first thing. You are not thinking anything like, oh man, Anton wants to meet up. Like you are talking, I probably should bring 2 guns.
I got 8.
3 a.m. Listen to me. Like, listen, you got to understand, I'm not condoning. I don't think it's right, like, to use your power to manipulate and coerce women into sexual favors.
Right.
But if I'm beating my dick on the phone, you can hang up.
Listen, this is how crazy it is. You know that comedian? He asked girls. He was like, "What's his name?" He was like, "Can I jerk off in front of you?" And they said yes, and they still canceled him.
That was Louis C.K.
Yeah, Louis C.K. Yeah, it's gross. It's gross. It's not a good idea.
Like I wasn't offended. Oh my gosh.
So anyway, there's a big difference between all these things. But yeah, Epstein bad, Bill Cosby bad. The problem I have with Bill Cosby, my biggest issue, besides what he did to the women, like he probably would like, did you really have to drug them? You know what I mean? Did you really have to drug them?
That's not even my biggest issue. I think rape, there's things that happen and it can't get worse. Like if you kill somebody, it doesn't matter if you chop them up or you shoot them 14 times. You kill somebody. It don't matter how you burn them alive. Like, yeah, you thinking like how you don't want to die, but it's still death, right?
Yeah.
It's still rape. What bothers, I think, the Black community and the majority is how Bill Cosby would call Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And criticize him for using it.
Hypocritical. He's hypocritical, right?
Yes. So nobody came to his side. Nobody backed him up. Yeah. Nobody. It was like to the wolves.
They shouldn't have been. Nobody should be on his side. But yeah, like I don't know. I mean, how many? Then what's his name? Not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The other one. He slept with over like 4,000 women or something. He said.
Magic Johnson.
No, it wasn't Magic Johnson.
Oh, I know who you talk about. I can't think of it.
Dr. J.
He didn't die of AIDS.
No, Magic is still alive. Hey, there's the pooch.
Hey, little dog. What up? Hey, she gonna have to crawl. Hey,
you gotta crawl. They don't like you on the film.
All right, look, we coming back. Kamala Harris and Obama, they don't have that Black experience.
Not the same. They don't have the Black history.
Hey, look, they gonna put it exactly. Somebody with the Black history is not getting to the White House. Not in this century. Okay, you gotta have. Look, that's too Black. They be like, look, listen to me. Right? Look, gun ownership went up like 3,000% when Obama became president.
Let's put it this way. Let's because this is a good topic to talk about. Let's talk about this topic and then let's try and stay on this topic and then we'll end on the topic. So check it out. Because I feel strongly about this too. I don't know that it's a societal thing that people wouldn't accept an ADOS. Someone who we could describe as the ADOS that we talked about. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
What does it stand for?
ADOS. No.
What's it stand for?
African
descendant of slavery.
American descendants of slavery.
African American descendant of slavery.
So what you said that they couldn't get in the White House.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I don't know that I would. You know
how you got to do it? You got to be Ben Carson. You got to go for the other side. You got to be the only Uncle Tom Coonan motherfucker to get up.
Hey, what? Uncle Ruckus?
You got to be. Listen. You have to be a scientist who denies science.
Do you remember?
You got to be a Black brain doctor, but also be an idiot.
Do you remember Uncle Ruckus?
Yes, of course.
Lago. I just get blacker and blacker, darker and darker.
The opposite of what Michael Jackson.
Right. All right. So, anyways, what I'm getting at is
that's how you get in as ADOS.
Think about maybe, but I don't even know that I will go there. I don't know that I could speculate. But what I will say is this: if think about how long from like slavery wasn't that long ago.
No. And
so though the individuals who are descendants of slaves.
We're talking the original form of slavery, right?
I'm talking a slavery where we stole people Americans brought them here, the slave trade, they purchased, and then they had free labor on their property.
Yeah.
Okay. The children of those individuals, they're just getting started. Ain't no money there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why education, and then there's a gap, and then the where they grew up, you know.
There's a crater. There's a crater. That's not a gap. That's a
right.
crater.
So like where they got to come from just to then be in a position where it's like, okay, now we're all, you know, equals, and we're in the school system that we can then get out of and be educated, and then we can go to college, and then, you know, so on and so forth to compete. That's the journey. And I think it's less of, it's more of that and less of the other. It's less of just the prejudice holding people down. Yeah.
Yes. And well, that's the thing with a system. If you have a system, you know, like German engineering, it just works. You don't have to do anything. It works. We created the system, we put the policy in place, and it works. It governs itself. Everything under it trickles down and works like it's supposed to, like a machine.
You mean our system of
oppression or anything like that?
Right, exactly. So, anyways,
Kanye was at the doctor for he had to get a cortisone shot. He said, he dropped a tweet. He said, "Too much texting, bro."
His hand or something?
Yeah, he had it. He's like, he doesn't know what it is. I'm like, it's carpal tunnel. Like you have a variation of carpal tunnel. But listen to me. Wait a minute. First of all, as keyboardists, pianists get it too, and he's always on the keyboard, right? He knows how to play piano. But I'm like, why does he think it's from texting? Like, how are you? You know how? Listen, to text a lot, I think is also equivalent to text violently. Like people who text a lot, like text emotionally, like that's a lot of texting. Like pick up the phone, like call somebody.
Yeah, but he's Kanye. He's working business.
He's tripping.
How often does he have to change his number, you think?
Man, he better change his password. When he went to visit Trump, somebody's recording over his shoulder. It was just 6 zeros. Oh my gosh. All right, so I have a topic. I hate exercise, but I love training. Can we talk about the difference between those? I think Mike would really understand it.
Yeah.
Hating exercise, I feel as though I've almost never exercised in my life. I hate exercise.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
But I love training.
Right.
Right?
I need something to train for.
What is your, all right, so there's a goal, there's a purpose.
Yeah.
But I think more than a goal. I used to think there was a goal, accomplish this, and then guess what? I got to do this. But what about, I think I get more enjoyment from a lifestyle change. Like somebody will say like, why are you training for a triathlon, Mike, or an Ironman? Just because, like I don't have to, you're not training for it. You're living your lifestyle that way.
I'm training for it.
If you train for it, it's going to be hard.
You have to train for it.
If you live a lifestyle, Hannah, right, that prepares you, you can go run a 5K any Saturday.
See, but she's interested in running fast. I'm interested in doing well. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not interested in just participating.
Is there a difference?
Yes.
So with training, there's two components then. There is a purpose and then a place. A purpose and a level, an accomplishment.
Consistency, a plan, progression. You know, because you could go in there and lift, like let's say you're lifting for exercise. If you always go in there and lift the same amount of reps, weight, sets, and you never change anything, you're not progressing towards anything.
No, not of course. Of course not. Most people don't understand periodization.
Right.
It's in every sport. When they learn that.
So if you're exercising.
The East Germans, that's how they was whooping our ass, and steroids, but they understand periodization, right? And the crazy thing is, most of our periodization models are old. They're based off East German research with athletes who were heavily doped in a controlled environment.
I think it's mostly just BS anyways.
You think so? You think you can like, all right, so I've tested it with athletes. Like, have you done workouts back to back to back?
Okay, this is listen.
The evolution of
I have.
Running fast now in practice. Running fast, like spiking up.
Yeah.
First set.
Right.
Set. Not the last one.
Right. We would do workouts in spikes. Yeah. I was different though. So here's what I figured out. the human body is amazing, and we're not smart enough to know how the body repairs, how it comes back from it, like from a type of work. We think we know about the energy systems and anaerobic and aerobic and whatnot
at this point, but we should know more.
But we like I've asked this question too. This is how I know people don't know. I'll be like, okay, so all right, so there are two different energy systems, right? Okay, so can you do an aerobic workout one day and then an anaerobic workout the next day? And then if I did no workout, does my aerobic system recover at the same rate with an anaerobic workout between the next one as it would otherwise? People don't really know that.
No.
I mean, of course it doesn't, but how long does it take?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, so is it extra long or?
With periodization models, it's like the workout now counts 10 to 14 days.
Oh, what I'm saying is how, like in a recovery period. So like, all right, you can only do an anaerobic workout every 24 to 48 hours. You know, you can only lift a specific energy system 24 to 48 hours.
And that's also taking into account three things that I would add on top of that is even before that kind of thing that would shut all that down is stress, nutrition, and sleep,
and altitude. But yeah, so like your recovery will be affected by that also. Yeah.
You stumbled into a meet or into practice or into a race hungover without sleep and crushed it.
I had a lot of those athletes.
Homecoming race, you know, like
I wasn't hungover for that. I was ready.
Sean was hungover each one of those. I don't know. Did he beat you or you beat him?
I set the record the first time, and then the next time he beat me.
We were so trashed.
I didn't run fast. I just let it die because I took it.
Remember, I took it out.
Yeah.
After that, an hour later, I went like PR at weightlifting practice. But my point was that I was on a psychological high. Like I was feeling good. There was no stress in my life at that point in time. But I probably ate like shit the night before and didn't sleep, and I was hungover.
Hey, nobody thought about any of that stuff back then, you know, and that's why listen to this story. I had a girl on my team, and I won't say too much details, but this is what happened. She was always sick, and the nurses, you know, she'd in the nurse all the time. She'd go to the doctor, this and that, whatever. She's always sick, blah, blah, blah. And then she finally ended up quitting. Like, finally. It took 3 years.
Yeah.
It took 3 years. And I believed in this kid. I thought she could do some things. But anyways, after she left, some girl said to me that was on the team, she was like, man, she said, Coach, I could never tell you while she was on the team, but all those times she said she was sick, she was hungover. And I had, like, no idea. Like, she's just like an alcoholic, you know, drinking that much. But as a coach, you can't do anything about it. You know, I'm not, you know,
how
we're not.
Can you investigate that?
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. And some people can drink and then do okay. And some people drink and then they're, you know, they can't.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, on top of understanding how the body recovers, the main factors in recovery.
Sure.
After smart training.
Sure.
After smart training, because there's stupid training.
Yeah.
After smart training, it is definitely stress management.
Yeah, hydration,
sleep. Hydration, and then sleep.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sleep is the one it'll add up later. You can pop up, all right, I didn't sleep well last night. Nobody sleeps well the night before the race. If you've been sleeping well a month before that, though, you've been doing well.
Yeah, but the biggest thing that I see is like when it comes to periodization, why I say it's BS is because before we knew all that we know, they made really fast and strong athletes. And so like what I realized was I listened to all the old coaches talk, and when you hear them, they just did really basic stuff. They're like, all right, today we're going to do this at this time. We're going to do 6 200s at, 34. And then 3 days from now, we're going to do them in 33. And then 3 days from then, we're going to do it 32. Yeah. And just keep going down. That
is the model in which, when I use that one, it's the simplest model because I can write 4 to 6 weeks of training. Mm-hmm. And it's so simple. It's based on you.
Yeah,
if you're not ready, guess what? If you didn't make 6 of those at the time designated that week,
right. That's how I trained everybody. That's how I train everybody.
And if you didn't make it the next time, we're gonna give you a down week and come back. Come back.
Yeah.
You need a down week. Guess what? We started at 36, 35, 34, and 34 was max out for you, but 28 is max out for Sean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's knowing where we're at.
But then
it's not doing the same workouts in the same time. Like I seen a coach do that, and it was like, it wasn't revolutionary. It was just like,
okay, so let's put it this way. Now let me take it deeper with you. Okay, great. Once you have
there was a 70 and below group, high school.
Yeah. But now check this out. Then I mean, there's a lot more to it, but then you can think of one other thing. So then the way that I train people is like, if you're mechanics, if you're bio running mechanics, for some people, they cannot even achieve let's say 20 miles an hour. There are some people's mechanics that don't even allow them to run 20 miles an hour. So if they're trying to run 16 miles an hour and their maximum is 17 miles an hour, they will not be able to complete the same. They can't complete the same workout at the same intensity. So I literally, when I have young kids, I never had a treadmill fast enough, but if I did, I can actually show people that, look, your mechanics
break down at this point.
Yes, your mechanics don't allow you to run this fast. And then I teach them how to run, and 20 minutes later, they literally can run that velocity. So they go from not being able to run a velocity to being able to run a velocity, which is insane.
It's the same little and it's not like a magic trick. It's just understanding how the body works.
It's a trick. It's a trick.
I do this all the time with my clients. I'd be like, all right, we'll be stretching. They'd be like, that's as far as I can go. I'm like, okay, take a deep breath. Blow it out slow. Go a little further. I'm like, oh, what happened? Because naturally your body is tense. So naturally when you run, you think that's what I got to do, right?
What do you think, Hannah? You're the runner.
Come on, Hannah. Exercise.
You all run. I just run too.
I don't run no more. I'm running hills tomorrow at 6 a.m., but I don't really run no more. I don't call myself a runner because I think runners put in at the very least 30 miles a week.
See, you're just putting out. Do you think I'm a runner?
That's not a runner either.
He ain't never run. He a blast.
He go 1 day hard, 6 days nothing.
It's that
1 day hard,
that device
7 days nothing.
And then it works, and you're like, ah! It works. It's like Mike is like he's the PlayStation when you flip it upside down and it finally works again. You're like, yes. He's blowing in the cartridge. All right, look. I said poor as a mindset earlier. I really did. I think that's it's a
Kanye line. Kanye said slavery is a choice.
It's both a choice sorry, and a socioeconomic status. That is true. But most research shows that whatever socioeconomic status that you're in, whatever bracket, what have you, that your parents were in, you will likely stay in. Unless you do something dramatically different than your parents. And then that new standard, if up or down, will be the standard for your kids.
All right.
And so that's actually amazing. So probably Mike, you're probably first generation in some sort, assumingly. Somebody in your nuclear family didn't go to college and finish.
I am the only college graduate. Yeah, I have one other cousin that went to college.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, Renata, your sister, right? She finished school.
Okay, so I was the first one.
Younger, so does she count?
All right, so you're the first. Exactly. I'm the same. I have a distant cousin who went to school, and I have more in common with her, and we don't even talk. But at the time, we had this connection that didn't even need to be said than I had with the rest of my family. And I think it was
we wasted our time and money on this education together.
Generally speaking, you don't do better than your parents unless you do better than your parents, right? And so that's why I say somewhat a mindset, but you're not in control. You're not in control until you realize that you were given this situation. You were born here. It's the same thing with religion, right? I always say you're only this. People who are hardcore whatever they believe, which is beautiful. I think religion at a core is beautiful without the human part.
Sure.
People go to church, you know, the organized part, right? That part.
Yeah. The values.
The Bible is a beautiful book.
Beautiful. Sound like Trump.
It's a beautiful book. You get in there, you know, it gets inside.
He's getting paid for this. The Bible is beautiful.
You know, the touch. It's not the touch. We thought the touch was bad, but now it's in the air. So anyway, it's the same thing with religion, where like you only believe what you believe is because where you were born. If you were born in Thailand, there's a 96% chance you'd be Buddhist.
Right.
Or if not practicing culture. If I'm born in Jerusalem, what am I going to be?
Right. You're lucky. Right. I got you.
How can I say that this is the one, this is the best, this is the only?
Yeah, I hear you.
Mindset in which you didn't have control of. And then there are people who like, yo, I was born Jehovah's Witness. And then I got out that hope.
Well, that gets back with
the... They escaped.
That's what I feel like. You have to do something extremely different in order to get out of the mindset first. But you have, and then you can build on that.
Mm-hmm. So how you gonna do it? This is how you do it. Backpack for success. What's in your backpack?
Hey, that was Sean's baby. I like that. We had a club. We had a whole business plan, Hannah, for a club, an underage club. I'm gonna say underage because it was sketchy. We was like, all right, but we not gonna drink. Like, you know, it was gonna be people sneaking in flasks, like high school parties. At a college, it was a bar that was for 17 to 20-year-olds. We was looking for a real niche market. Didn't go well in this very southern central Illinois town. People. It might have worked in Urbana. I think it would have worked in Champaign-Urbana.
You should have drove a little farther.
I know, right? Should have went to a better school.
Do you remember when we went to Champaign that one night?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Hannah, I have videos of a weekend of my bachelor party with Mike. And Mike sent me. Oh my gosh, watching those are amazing.
Mm-hmm. After we stop recording, I'll remind you of what happened in Champaign.
Tell me. All right.
All right. Well, this is pretty good. Hannah, you gotta do your track updates and your news updates. Look at her eyes. Look how big her eyes just got.
What we got, Hannah? I already came up with 9 out of 25 #1 bestsellers on Amazon involve Trump. And
you know, I meant to ask you earlier if I had to do this.
Yeah, every time.
Every time, Hannah, you better come with it. And 9 out of
if we don't know something, you gotta pull up the Google. We gotta know immediately.
Right now, a lot of people in Greece who are basically seeking asylum throughout Europe. And Beirut is crumbling. Beirut's economy is in the shit after that blast.
Oh, yeah, that blast was crazy. I saw videos of that.
It's basically a dynamite storage facility. Explode. Some motherfuckers, I think it was like a cigarette, like, yeah, whatever, man. Blew up the fucking town.
Did you hear about the gender reveal that started the California fires?
I did see that. That's something crazy.
That was the case. That is insane.
One of them, not all of them.
People are losing their minds.
That's insane. Yeah.
All over.
They blew something up. Like, hey, we got a boy. Fire.
That's
so funny. We got to get him on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Mike Epps is the man.
Oh, man. I got to meet Mike Epps.
There may not be another, like, that man is so funny off the cuff.
He's so funny.
It's almost worse for him to write, like, and do it. Like, you know what I mean? He's just naturally so damn funny. It's crazy. I was watching his Instagram stories. He'd be like, yo, I'm roller skating in the basement. I'm going live at 7 p.m. He's just roller skating in his basement.
Oh, God.
When I was watching, I'm like, why am I watching this? Why am I watching Mike Epps roller skate in his basement?
You know who else we need?
Real.
We need David Goggins. What do you think, Hannah?
Oh, Colin.
Don't say fuck too much. We're going to get kicked off.
No. We curse on this podcast.
You're going to say fuck 100 times.
We curse on this podcast.
You're going to say fuck so many times. Oh, my God. Hey,
he's just real though. He just tell you what it is. You know?
We need one more before we publish, Mike.
What you mean?
Or what?
Because the way the podcast works, to get to the top of Apple's algorithm, if you publish one, and then the next thing you publish one, like if you come out the gate, they're watching for new podcasts and they're watching for anomalies. So when you come out the gate with like 3 to 5, your rank get boosted up, and then people start to notice it on the front page.
Okay.
Come out the gate. If you just do one, look, if we can do one a week for 52 weeks, it wouldn't improve the rank.
Yeah. We need 3 a day.
5 and
Morning before breakfast.
One every other day. I ain't got that much.
Wait, 3 a day? 3 a week or 3 a day?
No,
it's a completely different story.
When you first start, you release them like one every other day for 3 to 5 days.
I need to start comedy. The problem, we need to get like 5 years in the bank, and then I start comedy. I'm gonna start, getting out there. Once I start touring a little bit, trying to hit different spots.
Once we start touring a little bit.
For tours.
Hey, they canceled him. They're trying to cancel him.
Bro, he was texting some girl at ASU. He was
really?
texting my girl at ASU. Yeah.
What is the with today? You can't text
look. If you want to know how motherfucking guilty or got a good lawyer, it's either you guilty or you got a good lawyer. Is you stop social media. You be an active motherfucker like every day, like, hey, so-and-so charged with sex. He was texting. We got emails of his dick. And you see it, right? The motherfuckers who built that wall.
That's why before we blow, there's a lot of naked pictures of me in the world. I'm sure of it. I'm going to have to put it on a website.
No, Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon and his homeboys.
I'm just going to put a live feed of me. Steve Bannon.
Yes. So the motherfuckers like him, like his homeboys, they went to jail for that shit, for that fake fundraiser, right?
Oh, yeah.
And one of the homeboys is it's Brian Koflich. That's his name. He a traceplegic. All right, there's quadriplegic. He a 3. He got one arm.
Oh my.
But the rest of them blown off. I just invented that, by the way, a traceplegic. 3. That's a Spanish 3.
Wow.
Anyway, look.
It's not a quadriplegic. Quad. It's a tripleplegic.
Yeah,
triplegic. You said, is he Spanish? What did we just do here?
Arizona. Check it, bro. Listen. Check. Look for Brian Koflich. Kolfage. Right? Google this man and hit that Instagram button and look at his wife. Ain't no man, listen to me, I'm sorry. I'm going to speak the truth. There's no man who is missing both legs and an arm who have a wife who looks like his wife that ain't after that money.
Oh, gosh.
Look at his wife, bro. Go to his wife's Instagram. Every photo, her ass out in a bikini. No judge. Do your thing, sister. Whatever. You got it. It's yours. Show it off.
Listen, that's why men compete and,
Bro.
Women don't, they compete differently.
Brian Koflich.
That's
look
it.
At his wife's Instagram, bro. So this is one of the guys who stole the money. Fundraising.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a gang of them, bro.
Oh, no.
And another cat, right?
I didn't know. I didn't make that connection.
Yeah.
He's going to jail. What's she going to do?
Man, listen.
She can do whatever she wants.
Wait, what rich? Hey, 21 Savage said, a rich man can meet a broke woman and change her life. But a rich woman won't even look a broke man's way.
True, it's true.
21 Savage. Hey, listen to me. That man has to have money because he doesn't have either of his legs or an arm. He's missing an arm and both of his legs. He has to have money, okay?
Oh my god.
And look at how his wife spends his money.
You know what he said? He said, I have to take this money. Have you seen my wife?
You don't kill me.
He said, Steve, I need this money.
Listen, Dr. Dre is getting a divorce right now. He is about to be. It's like $2.5 million a month. He needs $900,000 in entertainment. That is insane. Listen to me, Mike. Listen to me, man. That might be the most. And the crazy thing is, Drake could do it. Dre's a billionaire.
So is Ye.
I just took Hannah's whole segment, by the way. I came with all the.
Yeah, what you got? Hannah, did you pick
okay,
anything?
you did good. All right, this is what I got for track.
All right, let's see it.
What's her name? Caster Semenya. Is that how you say her name?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. She lost.
She lost, man. It's over.
What are they gonna do? What's happens?
I don't know.
Oh, about her case, about her sex.
The testosterone.
Yeah.
What's her testosterone number? I know mine now. I want to know.
More than yours.
It just says she can't race from the 400 a mile without lowering testosterone levels.
So 400 or the mile, she can run the 8?
No, 400 to the mile. They basically just ruled out everything she was going to run.
So you can have higher testosterone levels and run the 1 and the 2? Obviously.
They don't think she's going to run that fast, so they're not worried about it.
I'll run the 2. She's not going to run that fast. No, she's not going to run.
She's not.
And she's not going to run distance.
How much does she have?
Just ridiculous.
I guess we got to Google it.
I know what. Hang on. Let me see what I got my test right here.
She's 29. Her career is over.
No, not with that much testosterone.
I mean, yeah, she still can run in her 40s and still
She'll probably be okay.
Okay, well, what's the conversion? NMO. Oh, here we go. Google. She did. Man, they just be.
I got horrible internet or something.
Who, me?
Who you said Google what? They don't tell you the number? You can't find it?
I'm trying to.
You found it?
I need to convert it though. Oh, here we go. One NGDL is equal to
Write that down.
28.8.
All right, hang on. And then the girth?
The girth? What?
This is being funny. Hold on.
What?
Okay, Caster. Oh, here we go.
Wait.
You're yelling. Okay, Caster had 5.
Whoa.
Hold up.
So that's
This website ain't working.
5.
Oh, here we go. I have.
Half of that would be 150.
Oh, wait, I should. What the heck?
10.
She's run 24.2 in the 200. She got to run 22.8 to qualify.
Yeah, she couldn't even. There are women. Woo! What's that girl who graduated from LSU?
Oh, I don't know.
Sha'Carri Richardson. Woo!
Also, Daphne Skippers just ran the fastest 150 since 2007.
Yeah, but it was a straight line, right?
Was it? I don't know that.
Probably. I'm talking, that girl, Sha'Carri Richardson, is fast.
Yeah, she is. Are you doing the equation?
I'm
bring it up on the board so we can
look, Mike, you've never seen her mechanics. Look at Sha'Carri Richardson
No.
from LSU.
Okay,
Watch
hold on.
highlights, the NCAA championship.
He's doing something.
Oh, that's low.
She a girl, though.
Okay, 5.
Are you comparing her to yourself, or are you comparing her to other girls?
No, I'm just, I don't know about what other girls are. I just know what I'm at. So I'm like 3 times her. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I'm 3 times what the women's max is.
All right, so what is hers though?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it says.
Wait, you don't know. You did all the math and you don't even know.
I know what's too high. The IAAF says 5 nmols per liter. Minimals, whatever.
Man,
Nanomoles.
She won in 2012 and in 20.
What is her? I don't know. Do we know? Probably we don't know. It's obviously over 5.
I didn't. It did come up. I feel bad for her. That's tough. She's tough. Man.
So because dictionary.com just updated a lot of stuff this week. What's the proper term for, like, what would it be like at birth, born with both sex would be a hermaphrodite, right?
No. Intersex.
Intersex. That would be the right word. Like transgender is a choice. Intersex is like, look, I just so happen to be.
Supposedly, well, it depends on who you talk to.
And then you choose your sex at birth, or it was assigned at birth?
You choose your gender.
But she was assigned female at birth.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's just how you got to take it. I mean, listen to me. Everybody has a genetic advantage.
Variation.
To some genetic variation to something, okay?
Mm.
All right? I can be in the sun longer than Hannah can and not hurt her, all right? Like, you know, maybe her ancestors could run for longer times than mine, you know, something like that. Your ancestors, what y'all could do? Eat a lot? I don't know.
Mine for sure.
Margaritas and still drive.
You heard my uncle. He said, I've had a lot of margaritas. He said, you were 19. No, I was 22 the second time I came. You don't even remember me coming.
I didn't grow it out of it.
I didn't grow it out of motherfucker. I didn't grow it out of it.
All right, man. Hannah, look, you got to be prepared, all right? Look, you got to at least bring fake news next time.
Fake news?
Cassie won and killed 17 people.
Wait, what story was I supposed to tell? Hang on. Let me stop. I'm gonna stop the recording. All right. Hey, this is the Beautifully Twisted Podcast. Out. Peace.